What's going on, guys? It's Edible Incredible. Before we dive into the most debated topic in the Zelda community, I first want to state that I feel my opinion on this matter is most likely in the minority. But I mean, that's totally fine. At the end of the day, it's all up to your interpretation, which I'll get into later in this video. So super quick, in case you haven't heard last week's news, Nintendo placed Breath of the Wild on the official Zelda timeline. However, it's not just at the end of a timeline like we expected. It's slated after each of the 3 timelines. Keep in mind though that in each of these 3 placements, there is no line connecting Breath of the Wild to the rest of the timeline. This is the only game that isn't connected with a line. Sure, Breath of the Wild takes place 10,000 years in the future, but there has been some massive time gaps in the Zelda timeline that are still just represented with a line connecting to the next game and so on. I feel Nintendo didn't connect Breath of the Wild on purpose, to keep the theory ball rolling, so to speak. This shows Nintendo is probably still figuring it out themselves. But because of Breath of the Wild placing separate from the rest means almost nothing. We already knew it felt the end of a timeline, this just restates that. Breath of the Wild still has ample evidence to each timeline, so Nintendo could still place Breath of the Wild strictly in the Downfall, Child, or Adult era, or even at the end of a brand new timeline. In my opinion, nothing's changed, other than Link's Awakening swapping with the Oracle games. But it seems like a lot of people are believing this means a convergence, or that Breath of the Wild falls at the end of each timeline, meaning it's meant to happen in each reality. I'm not necessarily against this idea, I just want Nintendo to explain themselves once they do officially confirm it. If that means within a future title's story or in a book, describing how the convergence happened or why Breath of the Wild is destined to be the finale of each reality. Hidemaru Fujibayashi mentioned how it's up to the player's imagination, so each timeline placement theory can still be up for debate, no matter which you believe. If that's the Breath of the Wild is destined to happen in each timeline theory, or a convergence, or even if you believe in a single timeline, none of these have been debunked nor proven in my eyes. Fujibayashi also states when told of the lore for Breath of the Wild is still up for academic debate. That's why you should pay attention to future titles as well, please look forward to it. I was personally hoping for some type of timeline hint in the Champion's Ballad DLC, but now that we know the Zelda team is done making DLCs for Breath of the Wild, we can only hope they incorporate at least a new hint into the next big console Zelda once it drops. Or maybe in a prequel to Breath of the Wild, which would connect the lore to a specific timeline, since the only thing that's confirmed is that it falls at the end of a timeline. After all though, it's all about how you interpret the Japanese website for its placement. Feel free to let me know your thoughts, as I'll have the link to the website in the description. And with that, I'll catch you guys in the next Zelda video. Stay hype, my homies. Peace!